Never fall for this cruise trick. It's designed to drain your wallet before you even unpack. One wrong choice at check-in, one tiny box ticked on your reservation, and suddenly you're spending hundreds more than you plan without even realizing it. Cruise lines make billions by doing this quietly, systematically. And unless you know what to look for, you'll fall into their trap. Ready to keep your money where it belongs? Let's be clear. Cruises are advertised as all-inclusive. That's the pitch. One price covers your cabin, food, entertainment, and transportation from port to port. But the moment you step on board, it becomes a different game. The drinks, not included. The best restaurants, Upcharge, Wi-Fi, Pricey. And that free room service? Watch your bill. Cruise lines don't just offer extras, they design every part of your trip to make you want them. And most passengers have no idea how fast the charges pile up. But not you, not this time. In this video, we're breaking down 11 cruise spending traps cruise lines use to increase their profits, and how you can avoid every single one. We'll show you how they get you with unlimited drink packages you don't need, how a single spa visit turns into a $300 upsell, and why grabbing that bottled water in your cabin could quietly cost you $5. These aren't just tips, they're psychological plays. The cruise industry has mastered the art of subtle upselling, and unless you know how they do it, you'll fall victim every time. So if you want to cruise smarter and spend less, stay locked in, because the countdown starts now. It always starts the same way. You're checking in, excited for your trip, and a friendly staff member offers you an upgrade, the unlimited drink package. Just $65 a day, they say, and you can enjoy anything. Cocktails, wine, soda, even specialty coffees. It sounds like a no-brainer. You imagine tropical drinks by the pool, endless lattes in the morning. So you say yes. Fast forward 3 days, you've had 2 beers, 1 soda, and a cappuccino. The rest of the time, water and buffet coffee. And suddenly you realize you've spent over $200 for less than $40 worth of drinks. This is one of the cruise industry's most profitable traps, and they know exactly how to sell it. The unlimited drink package is often pitched as a luxury upgrade, but for the average cruiser, it's rarely worth it. Most packages require you to drink 6 to 8 alcoholic beverages per day just to break even, and that doesn't include port days when you're off the ship. Add in early mornings, motion sickness, or just plain forgetting, and most guests fall short of that number quickly. What's worse, many lines require both guests in a cabin to buy the package, even if only one person drinks alcohol. So if your partner doesn't drink, too bad. That's another $500 on your tab before you even pour your first mimosa. The fix? Do the math before you sail. Calculate how many drinks you'd realistically enjoy each day and compare that with the package cost. If it doesn't add up, skip it and pay a la carte. You'll likely spend less and drink smarter. But don't think you're in the clear yet, because even water on a cruise isn't always free. And that brings us to the next sneaky charge hiding in plain sight. You wake up thirsty, reach into your cabin's mini fridge, and grab a bottle of water. No big deal, right? Later that day, you grab another from the buffet to bring to the pool, then one more before heading off the ship for an excursion. You think nothing of it until the final bill hits your cabin. $3 here, $4 there, and suddenly you've racked up $60 on water. This is one of the most overlooked money traps on any cruise ship. Most people assume bottled water is included, and why wouldn't it be? You're surrounded by free food and unlimited coffee, but many cruise lines treat bottled water like a luxury item, charging anywhere from $3 to $5 per bottle, even if you grab it from your own cabin. Some even offer multi-pack deals that seem cheaper, until you realize you're paying $30 for a case of something that would cost you $6 at home. And it's not just in your room. Grab a bottle at a show, near the gym, at the bar. It all adds up. Worse, some cruise lines don't allow outside water bottles to be brought on board, meaning you're locked into their prices for the entire trip unless you find a workaround. The fix? Bring a refillable water bottle with you and use the self-serve stations available at the buffet, near the gym, or on the pool deck. These dispensers offer safe, filtered water that's completely free and often colder than the bottled stuff. Just make sure you don't refill directly from the dispenser to avoid contamination. But water isn't the only basic that costs more than it should. Because the next trick? It hides behind a free menu, but the charge shows up right at your door. It's late, you're in your pajamas watching the waves roll by from your balcony, and you get a craving. Maybe a burger, fries, or a slice of cake. You grab the room service menu and smile when you see the price, $0. Perfect, you think. You dial the number, place the order, and within 30 minutes, your midnight feast arrives. You tip a couple of bucks and drift off satisfied. But when you check your final statement, boom, a $7.95 delivery fee slapped onto the bill. Welcome to the cruise industry's room service. Gotcha? Yes, the food may technically be free, but the act of bringing it to you usually isn't. Many guests assume room service is a complimentary luxury, part of the all-inclusive experience. But over the past few years, more cruise lines have quietly introduced flat-rate service charges, especially during peak hours or for late-night orders. And guess what? It's rarely mentioned until it shows up on your account. Even worse, that delivery fee is per order, not per night. So if your family places 3 small orders across the evening, you might get hit with 3 separate charges, even if you never left the room. The fix? Check your cruise line's policy the moment you board. Some still offer free room service during daytime hours, or for basic items like coffee and pastries in the morning. Others charge only for hot meals or late-night service. If there's a fee and you still want a treat, consider picking something up from the buffet or cafe before heading back to your room. And while that late-night dessert may seem like a splurge, the next upsell comes dressed as a romantic evening, but could cost more than your entire week's food budget. It starts with a smile and a white linen tablecloth. You're walking past the ship's steakhouse when a hostess invites you in for a truly unforgettable experience. She mentions aged filet mignon, tableside lobster, exclusive wine pairings. Maybe it's your anniversary or you just want one fancy night. So you say yes. The dinner is incredible. No complaints there. But when the bill arrives, it's $80 per person, and suddenly that special moment feels like a financial ambush. This is one of the most subtle yet effective cruise line tactics, the upsell into specialty dining. While your main dining room meals are included, cruise ships now feature multiple premium restaurants with cover charges ranging from $30 to over $100 per guest. And the pressure to dine there is real. From glowing brochures to in-person invitations, they're designed to make you feel like you're missing out if you don't book at least once. And here's where it stings. Many guests assume the specialty fee covers everything, but drinks, gratuities, and certain menu items still cost extra. A $50 dinner can quietly balloon into a $120 experience if you're not watching. The fix? Pick one premium restaurant ahead of time and treat it as a planned splurge. Don't fall into the trap of booking just one more because the photos look good or your waiter suggests it. The food in the main dining room is usually excellent and already included in your fare. But cruise lines don't just target your plate. Next, they aim at your sense of fun, because the next spending trap looks like free entertainment until the sales pitch hits you mid-activity. You walk into the atrium, music pumping, staff clapping, and a crowd gathered around a lively trivia game. It looks fun, so you join in. A few rounds later, you're offered a Deluxe Trivia Champion t-shirt, $25. Then a raffle ticket for a spa giveaway, another $10. By the end of the event, you've spent $50 on games, merch, and optional extras you didn't even plan on. And here's the kicker. The whole thing was labeled as free. Cruise lines have mastered the art of the free activity with a twist. From dance classes to scavenger hunts, seminars to art auctions, many events are advertised as complimentary, and they technically are. But built into the structure is a soft upsell, a push to buy something tied to the experience. That Zumba class, followed by a pitch for paid fitness programs, the jewelry seminar, ends with a discount card for a store on board. Even wellness events often funnel into expensive spa bookings or product pitches. And let's not forget the build your own souvenir trap, where you join a free activity like bracelet making or cupcake decorating, only to find that the supplies cost money if you want to actually keep or eat what you make. The fix? Always ask before joining, is this completely free or are there paid parts? It's not rude, it's smart. Staff will usually be honest, and it helps you decide if the activity is worth it. Bring a set spending limit to onboard events so you can still enjoy the fun without the financial surprise. And speaking of surprises, the next trap doesn't happen in the theater or the pool deck. It happens the moment you step off the ship, and it's often the most expensive mistake of your entire trip. You're docked in paradise, white sand beaches, ancient ruins, crystal clear water. The cruise ship hands you a glossy brochure, exclusive shore excursion, snorkeling, and island lunch, just $129 per guest. Sounds perfect, so you book it. Fast forward to the excursion, and everything's fine, until you meet a couple who booked the exact same tour from a local operator for $60. Same reef, same guide, same lunch, just half the price. Cruise line excursions are convenient, but that convenience comes at a steep markup, often double or even triple what you'd pay booking directly. Cruise lines contract local operators, add a commission, wrap it in some polished branding, and pass the cost on to you. And here's the part most passengers don't realize. Those operators are usually available right at the port offering the exact same experiences to walk-up customers for far less. But why do people keep booking on board? One word: fear. Cruise lines warn that if you're late returning from an independent tour, the ship may leave without you. And it's true, but that rarely happens if you're smart about it. Most local operators know cruise schedules down to the minute and guarantee return on time, or even offer return-to-ship insurance. The fix? Do your homework before you sail. Look up reputable third-party vendors with strong reviews. Book through trusted platforms like Viator or Shore Excursions Group, which cater specifically to cruise passengers and often include guarantees. And most importantly, choose tours that return at least 2 hours before all aboard time. Still, excursions aren't the only relaxation experience that drains your wallet. Because the next trap? It starts with a massage and ends with a high-pressure product pitch you never saw coming. You book a massage to unwind. 50 minutes of peace, soft music, ocean views, and someone finally working out the knots in your back. It's the escape you've been craving. But right before the session ends, the therapist leans in and says, "Your shoulders are extremely inflamed. I recommend this detox gel. It'll change your life." You smile, nod, and agree to look at it. 20 minutes later, you're standing at the checkout counter with 3 bottles of product, a follow-up treatment scheduled for tomorrow, and a charge of $327 on your account. So much for relaxing. Cruise ship spas are beautiful and often among the most luxurious places on board, but they're also one of the highest revenue centers on the ship. And they're built not just to pamper, but to upsell. The staff is trained to spot cues and pitch product lines during your most vulnerable moments, when you're half asleep, feeling grateful, or too relaxed to say no. From seaweed wraps to cellulite-reducing oils, it's all presented as essential and personalized just for you. The worst part, most of the products are grossly overpriced, and you'll rarely, if ever, use them again. But at the time, saying no feels awkward, especially after someone just spent an hour taking care of you. The fix? Politely set expectations at the beginning of your treatment. Let the therapist know you're here to relax, not to purchase. And if you do feel pressured at checkout, ask for time to think it over. Cruise staff aren't allowed to hold your account hostage over product sales. Now you'd think your cabin would be a financial safe zone. But the next trap? It's sitting in your mini fridge right now, and it's silently charging you whether you touch it or not. It's late, you're half watching a movie, relaxing in bed, and suddenly your stomach growls. You spot a small can of Pringles sitting in the minibar, and next to it, a cute little bottle of white wine. You think, one nightcap won't hurt. You crack them open, snack in peace, and call it a night. But when the cruise ends, your statement shows a $6 charge for the chips and $12 for that tiny wine. Multiply that by 3 or 4 days, you've just added $60 to your bill without ever leaving your room. Minibar and in-cabin convenience pricing is one of the sneakiest ways cruise lines boost your onboard spending. Unlike in hotels where some minibars are sensor-triggered, cruise cabins often stock snacks, sodas, and small alcohol bottles that seem complimentary at first glance, especially if you weren't told otherwise. There's no sticker, no flashing warning, just a quiet charge to your onboard account the second your steward restocks the item you touched. Even worse, some passengers don't even consume anything. They move the items to chill their own drinks or rearrange the shelf, not realizing they'll be charged just for disturbing the setup. And if you try to dispute it later, good luck. On most lines, minibar charges are considered final once restocked. The fix? Ask your cabin steward to empty the minibar at the beginning of your trip. Most will happily do it, and then you can use the fridge for your own snacks or drinks. If that's not possible, leave a post-it note on the door that says "Do not refill" to avoid unnecessary surprises. But this next trap doesn't even need snacks or drinks. It gets you before your cruise begins, during booking, and it's framed as a money-saving convenience that often backfires big. You're booking your cruise online and a screen pops up. Bundle and save. Add Wi-Fi, drinks, and photo package now. Limited time deal. You think, why not? You're already spending thousands on the trip. What's another few hundred for convenience? You click yes. Fast forward a week into the cruise, you've barely used the Wi-Fi, skipped the drink package after 2 hangovers, and forgot all about the photos. And now you're staring at your statement wondering where that extra $389 went. Cruise lines are experts at packaging convenience as savings. During booking, they offer bundles that sound like smart planning: internet, specialty dining, drink plans, spa credits, and photo passes, all in one click. But here's the problem. These bundles assume you'll use every component, and if you don't, you're paying full price for services you never touched. Most travelers overestimate how much they'll use Wi-Fi or drinks, especially on port-heavy cruises. And those professional photo packages? They only work if you actively find the photographers, pose at every stop, and collect the images. Otherwise, you're shelling out $150 for a handful of blurry hallway portraits. And here's the kicker. Many of these packages can't be refunded once your trip starts. If you change your mind, you're stuck. The cruise line already has your money. The fix? Only prepay for packages you're 100% sure you'll use daily. Skip bundled deals unless you've read the fine print and know what's included. Often, it's cheaper to purchase things a la carte or wait until onboard when usage patterns become clear. Still, some passengers double down and prepay for Wi-Fi, thinking it'll keep them connected. But the next trap? It's not just expensive, it barely works at all. You're halfway through your cruise and decide to check in with family back home. You log on to the ship's Wi-Fi, but the screen loads and loads and loads. 10 minutes later, you've barely sent one email. Frustrated, you try to post a photo on social media. It fails. But the kicker? You're still being charged by the minute or by the megabyte, even while staring at that spinning circle of doom. Cruise ship internet is one of the most overpriced and underperforming services on board. Despite being marketed as streaming capable or social media friendly, most packages are slow, spotty, and borderline unusable, especially during peak hours. Some cruise lines now offer unlimited plans for a flat fee, but they'll still throttle your speed if too many people are online. And forget watching Netflix unless you're docked at port with satellite stability. Even worse, the so-called deals you're offered before sailing, like 50% off internet, often lock you into multi-day plans that don't allow refunds if the connection is bad. So if you use it once, hate it, and log off forever, you still paid for the full cruise. The fix? Wait to buy Wi-Fi until you test it on board. Most ships allow you to purchase internet packages day by day, or even by the hour. This way you can try it out without getting stuck. Also, use port days to hop onto free Wi-Fi at coffee shops or terminals for essential communication. It's faster and costs nothing. And now we've arrived at the biggest trap of all. It doesn't happen in the spa, the dining room, or even your cabin. It happens after the cruise ends, and it can quietly destroy your budget for months to come. You're back home. The suitcase is unpacked, the tan is fading, and your inbox is full of real-life responsibilities. Then it hits, that sinking feeling when your credit card bill arrives. You scroll and scroll and scroll. Charges from the spa, drink package, minibar, casino, shore excursions, Wi-Fi, souvenirs. One by one, they add up to hundreds, maybe thousands, more than you expected. You thought the cruise was paid for. But this is the real price. This is the final and most dangerous cruise spending trap. Thinking it's all included until it's too late. Cruise lines are masters of delayed billing. Most onboard purchases don't require you to swipe a card. You simply tap your room key, say, charge it to the cabin, and enjoy. It feels painless until it's not, because there's no moment of hesitation, no budget reminder, no physical transaction to slow you down. It's spending without friction. Many cruisers forget to check their onboard account throughout the trip, meaning all those little charges get bundled into one massive surprise. And by the time you see it, the vacation is over and the regret is real. The fix? Check your account every night of your cruise. Most cruise lines have an app or guest services desk where you can monitor charges in real time. Set a daily spending limit for yourself and stick to it. Better yet, use cash or prepaid gift cards for onboard purchases when allowed. It adds a layer of awareness that protects you from surprise totals. Because in the end, cruising should leave you with memories, not debt. And now that you know how they trick you, you're officially smarter than most passengers on board. Thanks for sticking with us through all 11 cruise spending traps. If you've made it this far, you're already smarter than most people sailing the seas. From overpriced drinks to Wi-Fi that barely works, now you know exactly how to outsmart the upsells and protect your wallet every step of the way. If you found even one tip that'll save you money on your next cruise, hit that subscribe button right now. We've got more insider tricks, booking hacks, and travel alerts in every new video, and they're all designed to help you cruise better, cheaper, and stress-free. And before you go, share your cruise story in the comments. Have you ever been hit with a surprise charge on board? Or maybe you learned the hard way, like so many others? Drop your experience below. We read every comment, and your story might save someone else from the same mistake. See you in the next video, and until then, smooth sailing.